Hello there, Cruiser, and welcome. I'm Shadow Lummox, and today I am here playing Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the games that are available to download as part of the PlayStation Plus Extra tier, part of the game collection there. And while I know not many people watch these videos, especially in comparison to the Wreckfest videos I do, which not exactly a huge number of people watch those, but still they have an audience. And I love playing games, and there are so many games on this PlayStation Plus Extra tier that I want to play, and I'm just going to keep making videos about them because I think everyone should expand their palette with computer games, because there is literally everything you could think of out there, and this game in particular has definitely caught my eye. I kind of went under the radar a little bit. It was released earlier this year or at the end of last year. Time seems to have merged into itself over the last few years, but yeah, it came out to not huge fanfare, but it is definitely a fun game. It is a single player game. It's story driven, not an open world game, but going through chapters, different areas, and a different path for you to follow. There'll be some places to explore, but it plays very much like sort of an old adventure game where you've got an objective, got points to your mission or the chapter, and you just go on and do it. And it's the type of game that I really like playing, but probably sort of game that you're probably only going to play once, maybe twice, so keep that in mind. You play as Peter Quill, Star-Lord, and you're part of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you will control Peter exclusively, but you'll have the ability to interact with the other Guardians and get them to use some special abilities in and out of combat that will help you greatly. And one of the big draws of this game, and very early on you'll notice it, is the banter between the Guardians of the Galaxy crew as they go about their mission. And it's a lot of fun interacting with the crew and using their abilities in and out of combat. First one we want to come across is Groot. So Groot is the big tank of the party, and during combat you'll have the ability to entangle your enemies, giving you a bit of crowd control. As you play along, you'll get ability points which allow you to upgrade all the abilities, including your own. And then out of combat, Groot is able to make bridges to help you get to new areas. Next member of the team we have is Rocket Raccoon. During combat, he can throw cluster grenades, or at least that's his basic ability. The abilities can be upgraded to do good AoE damage. Then you can sort of pair it up, so use Groot's entangle ability and then Rocket's grenade ability to quickly get rid of a load of enemies. And then outside of combat, being a genius engineer, which he loves to constantly remind you of, he'll be able to get into small areas to access new areas, be able to hack security doors, things like that. The outside of combat interactions don't always seem to be fixed as well. You're not always going to be doing the same thing, so kind of like that. So it's more contextual based on what the level is, rather than just a fixed thing that person can do. Very different. So then we have Drax the Destroyer, and his combat ability allows you to stagger your enemies. This is really useful for the bigger, tougher enemies, because once they're staggered you can then do increased damage to them, and it deals both light damage and heavy stagger. And then you have Gamora, who has the ability to do heavy damage to one single target. So you can do things such as stagger the big enemy, then send Gamora in to finish it off. Outside of combat, Gamora has the ability to cut down and access certain inaccessible areas, so such as this, where she can get up and cut this block down, and then I can use Drax to move that block, so I can access previously inaccessible areas, allowing you to get to places to find components which you'll find dotted around the level, and to access new areas and to continue on with the level. And after a few encounters, you'll level up, and you get these ability points which you can use to spend on yourself to give Peter new abilities, and then later on they can be used to give the Guardians different abilities that you can use in combat and potentially out of combat as well. And it's pretty simple, sort of basic RPG stuff, not too detailed, but detailed enough to give you variety and opportunities to experiment. You'll also come across these workbenches, and these will give you the opportunity to upgrade some of your equipment, giving you new abilities. This is from the very first chapter, so you go through a little tutorial where Rocket will tell you to get an ability as part of it, the rapid reload, which you use then to get further through the level. You got your components in the top right and the available perks that you can purchase as well. And there's quite a significant list, and I've got a feeling that more will be added to the list as you go along. All this footage in the video is from the first chapter of the game. I've played on a bit, but I just don't want to spoil anything too much about locations and what you do. One of the good things I find about these single player games is actually playing these and experiencing these, the story for yourself, so I'm not going to get too in depth in that regard. And the last thing that I want to go over in this overview is this isn't going to be it's not meant to be an in-depth explanation of what you should be doing when you play this game. This is just, and it's not even a tutorial really on how to play, on how the buttons work. I just want to give an overview of the type of game this is, so you've got an idea of if it's something you're going to like going in. I've been showing basic clips of combat and exploration, and the last bit I want to go over is the huddle. When things start going pear-shaped, you'll get the huddle ability to allow you to bring the team together, to give a pep talk, to try and turn the tide of battle. And what will happen is that the team will sort of express their, shall we say, concerns with the current combat situation, and you got to respond accordingly. So you'll see these words popping up above their heads as they're talking to me, and this will give me an idea of how I want to go about responding to them. And once you've responded, everyone gets revived regardless of whether you succeed, and then you get a power up which will help you for the rest of combat.
Who's with me? I am with you, Peter.
So that is my overview of Guardians of the Galaxy. This I've been enjoying my time with this game so far, and I'm going to definitely continue playing it. There's more to it as well than just platforming. You get these little bits where you're in the Milano, flying around. Works a bit like a rail shooter, where you'll follow pretty much a set path, move yourself around. And the other thing I do want to mention is the music. While you're playing, you've got sort of generic gaming music. You've also got this 80s soundtrack, which you expect from Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not going to let it play too much, as this is most definitely copyrighted music, but it definitely adds to the atmosphere and the flavour of the game. So I hope this video has been helpful in letting you know whether this is a game you'd be interested in getting, and if you've got the PlayStation Plus Extra, it's definitely worth a shot for at least one playthrough. So I just want to say diolch and thank you for watching.